evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's watch party for the 1992 classic Dracula. As always, I'm Andrew, and I'm joined by Dom. Welcome, Dom.
Hello, creatures of the night. What beautiful music you shall make.
Okay, everybody. Right. So the sync point for tonight is on my copy about 8 seconds in. It's where it says Columbia Pictures, and it's the picture of the lady holding the torch. And that will be where. So while everyone gets themselves synced up, I will do a roll call, and then we'll get into this movie. I can see we are joined on YouTube by Jesse Flores. Welcome. Mad Matt, Hell If I Know, Immortal Rimus, James Hellier, and everyone's getting quite excited because apparently there's some kind of a football match or something in America. I don't know.
Yeah, if you listen closely, you'll be able to hear it from where I'm bloody sitting.
I don't know about such things.
Oh, it's
People are, so over on Discord, I can see we are joined tonight by. Let's have a look. Lizard Man, Sharon, Chaosphere, Mad Matt's also there. Edward the Black Prince, welcome. I can also see Mr. Fursel, Calbot, Fraglord, Phonic, Eric. Let's see who else we've got. See anyone else in here? I'll scroll back a little bit. Alex Peacock as well. Welcome. Okay, so if you pop along, like anyone who appears, it'll be. I'll say hello anyway. Right. Mm-hmm. So because this film's a little bit longer, we know people are going to get. Oh, Alan S1's joined us as well because this film's a little bit longer. It's not a long one. But because of the football and everything, everyone wants to get going. Let's get this film underway. So on the count. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm not doing that anymore. We've got a countdown timer. So here we go.
We're so used to it.
There we go. The Columbia Pictures logo. Okay. So, as I was saying last week to everyone, I've never seen this film before, and I'll relay my story about why I've never seen it shortly. Dom, clearly you have, as you were a little almost indignant about me having not seen it. Oh, wow. Immortal Rimus single. I think last week I couldn't find Darkman anywhere. I thought I wasn't going to find either. You couldn't find it anyplace on YouTube. Wow. Immortal Rimus, check. There's a good website for your country called Just Watch, and if you type the movies in there, it shows where you can stream all of them from. Now we're hearing a narration by Anthony Hopkins.
So for those of you who are playing, is this the same as the book? No. None of this that we're seeing at the moment is in the book at all. Dracula has barely any, if any, backstory. It begins. I'll let you know when the book begins. But other than this, it's pretty loyal to the book. And I'm going to say it. I prefer this story than the book story because I love myself a tragic love angle. Like when we watched Tales from the Dark Side, and my favorite little sub-story was the tragic love tale in that. Loved it. And yet, Lizard Man Dracula does not have cool armor like this in the books.
No, he doesn't. I was just going to say that priest, I think he survived this attack because he appears to be identical to Lylesburg from Nightbreed. The priest who was at this conducting their ceremony, and I'd like to let's put it into our shared universe that this takes place in the universe of Nightbreed.
Yeah, James Hellier's right. Bram Stoker's Dracula is, as a title, is either a marketing gimmick or because Universal thought they owned the rights to the Dracula. Yeah, you're not wrong. But again, it is really close to the book. Like, it's pretty similar. It hits all the same story beats. But then again, so did the Bela Lugosi film. It's not a hard story to adapt, and it's one of the books that's been adapted quite well in as the years have gone by. I've just never been a big fan of the book.
Oh, James is disagreeing with you, Dom. I can see over on YouTube, Alex Peacock is saying his subtitle options on his DVD, unfortunately, are Spanish or Korean. So he's having to watch it and listen to it.
You don't know Spanish or Korean?
Yeah, that's the question. When did everyone first see this movie? Myself, at about 4 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago, I started watching this movie. I can see Immortal Rumors saying the first time I saw this film was a year after its release in another family rental from Blockbuster. Okay. So while we're getting this underway, everyone's putting their stories in there. There's Lylesburg again. Right. Why did I not watch this film when it came out? Because I wasn't particularly into vampires at my secondary school because Lost Boys had recently aired on TV, and all the girls were going through that obsessed with vampires phase.
I had that as well, but for Twilight, so yeah, I would have preferred your version.
Yeah, I know that. I know. Admittedly, Lost Boys was a better film, but I didn't want to get into it because they were all obsessed with vampires.
Of course, yeah.
Then this came out in 92. I would have been, yeah. So a couple of years after this came out, and this was doing the video rounds in 94. The girl I was dating was also obsessed with vampires. And she used to play the Annie Lennox love song for a vampire from the soundtrack of this film endlessly. She was obsessed with vampires. And then when I split with her, I was like, no vampires. No vampires.
I ain't seen another vampire again as long as I live.
Yes. And then the following year. Yeah, but then the following year was when I took the two girls to the cinema on the date with my friend, if you remember, for Interview the Vampire. Did I tell you? Where he couldn't get in for it. So, but yeah. This one. So it's not that I've never wanted to. Yeah, I've never wanted to watch it. Basically,
James, my Twilight Zone was the original series. I was obsessed with watching reruns of the original series as a kid. Loved them. I actually didn't know that was an 80s one until I was like 17.
Yeah, Lizardman saying, how does he know the stabbing the cross would make it bleed and why does he drink it? Is it supposed to be like symbolic of where he's giving up on his religion and he's attacking his god?
Pretty much. Like I said, this wasn't in the book.
Right. And the armour that looks kind of like something out of Flash Gordon or Dune.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, both. We're almost at the point where the book begins.
London, 1897, 4 centuries later. At the
Brace yourself, everybody.
The Carfax District Lunatic Asylum.
Oh yeah, good old Renfield. Yeah.
Tom Waits, the musician.
Playing an excellent Renfield.
Yeah. However, from a distance on the first shot, I wasn't sure if it was Ron Perlman.
Oh, they have a similar
the
physique
look from
in
there,
the face.
Yeah, in the face.
And the hair. Yeah. Oh, Keanu.
Of course,
Blessed.
my lord. Of course, dude. Dude.
Yeah. Whoa. Totally radical. He looks like a snack, though. He looks great. He just sounds... Steve Buscemi turned Renfield down? Oh, that's a shame. Buscemi would have been a great Renfield, but it probably couldn't do the accent. Then again, if he tried against Keanu... Yeah, just don't listen. This does feel like...
Did he say married?
School... Married. Yes, putting on an English stint. Married.
Married. Wow.
Just
thinking.
Yeah, I was going to say, he just watched The Princess Bride.
Bride. Probably was part of his research for the role.
I love you, Mina. I also love the transitions in this movie. They are gorgeous. Like, this is obnoxious as hell, but then we zoom into the peacock feather and it becomes a tunnel. Like, it's just cute. It's so adorable. Oh, this was a miniature, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah, this here, the train going over.
You're telling me that's not a full-size train?
Correct.
I mean, it looks...
This is where the book begins.
Pretty janky, actually. That train looks like it's a model. I know it is a model, but it really looks like a model.
But here we see the skybox in this film is amazing. Like, you see Daddy Drac's eyes there in the clouds.
I think my initial thoughts on this are Keanu should have done a Costner and just done his American accent and not had people worry about it.
100%, I agree with you. James is saying that Coppola says the problem with Keanu was that he tried too hard with his accent. Yeah. We're all in agreement then. That Drac accent, though. Oh, because it's Gary Oldman.
Oh, he's smouldering in that picture.
He is. I'm simping for this movie more than Extra. It's because it's visually gorgeous. We haven't seen The Fifth Element yet. That's when I truly simp. Okay, the lightning effects are goofy, but good God, they're adorable. Like, it just reminds me of the Universal
were they going for a bit of a Hammer horror look to it?
I think it's like pre-Hammer.
Well, it can't be pre-Hammer, because Hammer horror was the 1950s and 60s it started.
Yeah, but the Universal Dracula was like in the...
Oh, that might be. Sorry, I mean, the look of this film. The look of this film has that very kind of Hammer look to it.
Yeah.
Fragments of these old optical effects.
Yeah. How quickly would you be like, nah, I'm out. This isn't worth it.
I'd be gone. Welcome PTL 360 saying when Dracula was still cool. I know it sounds strange, but it's got the look of a stage play in parts. The way that smoke.
The way the smoke is there, the optical effects, the way that Keanu is acting.
Yeah. Hell if I know, welcome.
Jonathan, you dense fool, how would you not be out of there the moment a creepy claw...
Well, exactly. The driver didn't even say to him, Jonathan? No, sorry. Jonathan? While he's got his Bluetooth earpiece on.
Jonathan.
Can we stop at the 7-Eleven and get some refreshments?
I feel the need to get a 7-Up.
The driver say, that's an extra charge.
Yeah. There's some refreshments in the back.
Yeah, rate me 5 stars. Here's a bottle of water from Costco.
Yeah. Okay, I can't remember if this was in the book. I feel like it is. The random like blue flames.
Force field of fire or something it's supposed to be.
Yes. I think it keeps the children of the night out of the house.
Right.
But Jonathan doesn't seem to see it as anything other than strange. I think in the book he said, it might have been an optical illusion.
Immortal saying is what's really funny about Keanu's English accent is that his mum is English.
If my children fail to have an English accent, well, they will. They won't have an English accent. But if they fail to do a decent English accent, I might have to beat them.
Phonic says, "Don't I have a protective blue fire at my house?" No, I don't. I have all the heads
And
of
Ed
my.
209 guarding.
No, I have all the
no,
heads.
you
I have pikes outside with all the decapitated heads of my enemies.
the UPS guys that deliver
Yes.
wrong packages to your house. You
That's
just
right.
impale them.
That's right.
So as psychotically goofy as his hair is here, the rest of the costume, chef's kiss. It's so like that long as fuck cape.
Hang on. So he invited him in. Was there a symbolic thing there? Because otherwise, it's the other way around, isn't it? That a vampire is powerless if you don't invite them in.
Correct. The same thing applies to the reverse. If you enter a vampire's domain willingly, then
Right.
you're gonna be preyed upon. But if you're like lured in by false pretenses, like that's why Dracula can't go out, seduce someone, and bring them to his house. They have to enter willingly.
Right. I see a resemblance.
Order of the Dracula. Would you be comfortable just eating alone in this guy's house?
I'd be worried about the fact how he's cooked it. I don't see any servants. Has he cooked it himself?
That's part of the thing. Yes, he did. He's trying to make out that he has servants in the book.
Right.
Like the stagecoach driver is actually Dracula. And he like does his little scurry and pretends like he's not the stagecoach driver.
So it's a bit like a sitcom. Or I tell you what it's
comedy.
like. It's a bit like the Disney film Candle Shoe, where Derek Niven played literally all the servants in the house. David Niven played literally all the servants in the house to create an illusion of wealth.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He's so compelling, isn't he, Gary?
He is. The only thing that's putting me off a bit is so
The
many
hair?
wonky angles in the film.
Ah.
In a minute, I'm going to open the video player and freehand it every time it's not level and fix the image myself.
No, every angle must be Dutch.
Yeah.
Or these are Transylvanian angles.
Yeah.
So this obsession with Mina.
Alex Peacock, Candle Shoe probably won't be in a watch party, my friend.
I do love like the shadow is. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Because the shadow has a life of its own, essentially.
Well, this is something again that's actually very cool. There's actually a similar effect in Peter Pan's Magic Flight. I don't know, which is a ride in Disney World. Now it's in other parks, but in the queue areas, you go through the nursery.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a really nice effect where they've got like a projector thing where you have shadows of bells and things you can play with your hand. But then there's also a shadow that moves independently around on the wall from you.
Yeah, Peter Pan's shadow.
Yeah, but it's kind of a similar and nice effect. But I wonder if the whole thing about kind of the separated shadow, which was the shadow from Dracula in the book Dracula?
Dracula was in the 1800s. It was written. I don't know when Peter Pan was written.
Ooh.
Someone do some research for us.
Oh God. The book was written in Well, the first Peter Pan book was The Little White Bird in 1902.
James Hellier is completely right. The obsession over Mina as his former lover was not in the book at all. It is from the Richard Matheson script Dracula from the 70s with Jack Palance.
Ah.
God, Richard Matheson did some good work.
Okay, not that I really watch the films, but only because I've watched a couple of them with my niece when she was younger. Edward the Black Prince is talking about the Hotel Transylvania films, and I've got to admit, what I really, really, really don't like is what Universal are doing in the in those films now. Adam Sandler decided he didn't want to be in them, so they got a guy who does his voice acting perfectly to play exactly the same character doing an impression.
I mean, how hard is it to do a Transylvanian Dracula accent?
It's just like we're going to keep the franchise going by having someone doing exactly the same voice.
Yeah. But yeah, so Dracula's relationship with his shadow in this film, I don't remember if it's exactly the same as my memory, because it's been a few decades since I've seen this film. But I think his shadow's like betraying his desires. He wants to throttle the man who has Mina's heart. And Dracula himself here, because he's already had a little... Sorry, the transitions are distracting me. They're beautiful. But he's had a little nip of Renfield already. He's got Renfield under his thrall. Why isn't he doing that with Jonathan? And I remember there's a scene that's in all the trailers where he like gets a straight razor and he nicks himself. So Dracula goes a little haywire and has a quick licky lick. We'll see it soon, I'm sure. But he has this like reservation. He doesn't want to completely devour Jonathan. Oh. I thought this was a child-friendly watch party. Arabian Nights. Oh, yeah. Lucy's a bit of a player in this, isn't she?
Have you ever typed on a real mechanical typewriter?
I have.
And
they are
hell on earth to work with, I find.
Yes, they are. They're a nightmare, especially when the keys like are slightly off. So you slap the key and it doesn't hit the paper as heavily as you should.
My problem is I've been typing since I was 4 years old.
On an actual keyboard, not a typewriter.
On a computer keyboard. On a real computer keyboard. Because my first computer had a proper keyboard. And when I tried using a mechanical typewriter about 15, 20 years ago, just to have a go on one, I was typing too fast for it and the keys were getting jammed together.
Yeah, because they get tangled in the in the little nexus.
Because they haven't finished their travel back before the next one was coming up.
You're too quick for the machine.
Yeah.
So here's a bit of fun.
James wrote his university dissertation on one.
That's impressive.
Immortal Rumours is saying, did Francis Ford Coppola cast Winona Ryder in this as an apology for not being in Godfather Part 3? Probably not. I suspect it was because Keanu and Winona, around this time, they were a very Hollywood couple. And also, that looks such a model.
Quincy Morris, the Texan. Yeah, the Texan, of course. That's just how they refer to him. Not American. Texan. So, a bit of literature history for everyone. Bram Stoker, there's some speculation that Bram Stoker may have been somewhat homosexual. He had a notoriously, I don't want to say loveless marriage, but it wasn't a marriage that his colleagues described as very passionate and like a whirlwind romance. He was a very solitary person, and he was quite close friends. He was definitely in talks with, oh my God, what was his name? Author who had the trials done in England and was sent to prison for being gay.
Oscar Wilde?
Oscar Wilde. Thank you, Andrew, for saving me.
That's right.
He had a lot of talks with Oscar Wilde, and this book, Dracula, was written shortly after all those trials, where a lot of authors previously, before the trials, they were being quite coy with not romance, but bromances. Same with the vampire novel that predates this, Camilla, is very easy to read as romantic for the female characters. It's very easily read as a homosexual story, but a lot of people read Dracula as a metaphor for homosexuality, the character, and almost a stand-in for Oscar Wilde in Bram Stoker's mind. Ignore the
Okay,
spider
I'll
there.
ignore that spider there, Alex. Richard E. Grant.
Yep. I love that guy's got a cage on his head.
The only thing though, Richard E. Grant here looks more like Lin-Manuel Miranda at the moment, with that goatee beard. The hair as well,
Talking
because he's
about
younger.
Dorian Gray.
No, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
No, we got a frag lord asking about Dorian Gray.
Oh, right.
Gotta I have studied Dracula a little bit, Sharon. It's one of the reasons I don't like the book.
Richard E. Grant in that outfit also looks like he's getting ready to go on an adventure, like some kind of a low-key Indiana Jones or something.
The visuals in this film are tremendous. Richard, could you button your shirt up a little? Just a touch? Just a smidge? And why are you glistening? Actually, what? Are they just suspenders he has on, or some kind of apparatus?
Actually, James, I'm going to take your question there that you're asking Dom, ask it to the audience, but I'm also going to say, everybody, what's your favourite adaptation of Dracula? And I don't just mean a film, it can be a film if you wish, or your favourite on-screen adaptation of the character Dracula.
James, you might be pleased to hear that my favourite adaptation of Dracula is the Bela Lugosi Universal film. I adore that movie. Then again, the Hammer films are also great, but they're great for a different reason. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee together are just
That's good.
God tier. Exactly, Alex. Yeah. Can't tell if they're suspenders or some kind of proto-steampunk contraption. Could be both. Let's bring them back into fashion.
Or is he an ancestor of Nathan Drake?
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing. So, to those who aren't aware, this is like the book. These little readings from the diary. The book itself is essentially a found footage film, but in book format. Everything is pieced together by Mina and Jonathan in a chronological order, starting with Jonathan's diary when he goes to see Dracula. Then there's like newspaper clippings of people going missing. It's an odd way of telling a story, and I don't like it.
I've got to admit, I'm finding the film a little disjointed so far.
It might be because we are
wildly
distracted.
No, I don't know. It just seems to flow a bit. It's flowing a bit like a book, if you know what I mean, not like a film.
Yeah. That's why I say it's a relatively loyal adaptation. It tries to give the same. Like every time we switch to a different character's perspective, it opens with some kind of recording of events. Like with Richard Grant just there, he was like, patient is crazed and lunatic, and I'm putting on my steampunk suspenders to go and investigate what's going on. It is structured like the book, which is interesting, but I actually prefer the way
Alex saying what's a little more distracting is the choice of Keanu's haircut. Yeah, but that's the 90s where everybody had curtains.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. You can't... That's peak 90s sexy.
Yeah. don't forget that this film would have been marketed by, hence the Keanu and the Winona stuff, where the marketing people would say the film's got to be sexy so it markets well. Because, and I can tell you again from my experience of not wanting to see this film, it was the young girls absolutely loved this film. They found the Dracula thing sexy. Keanu was sexy. The love story across time sexy, and that's the whole thing that they were into.
James, Dracula 77? Really? Really? Dracula 77?
Oh.
Ugh. How could you?
I'm going to say one of my favorite Draculas is Duncan Reger in Monster Squad.
Oh yeah, okay, that's almost impossible to top. He's great.
I'd like to have seen a proper Dracula film with him in it.
Yes, because he does a great job.
And also, I love the fact Van Helsing. He's got one of the coolest Van Helsings in it, because he's a classic Van Helsing, and he gives a thumbs up at the end. So that's a cool Van Helsing.
Louis Jourdain.
Yes, Matt, that was when Skeletor played Dracula.
Oh, Keanu.
Those animals.
It hurts. Oh, I wish I could disappear like that.
And there goes the shadow.
Yeah.
Oh, Keanu... Immortal Rimus. Has anyone seen Dracula 2000, aka Dracula 2001? Oh, a long time ago, and once or twice, and it was terrible.
It's such unnerving imagery.
It is.
Alex, no. The Hugh Jackman Van Helsing film. It's a guilty pleasure, but it's not something I'm proud of. Do you know how hard it is to light anything with a single candle with no, cover around it?
I'm also kind of really wondering how that candle's glowing like a bloody lightsaber.
Oh, well. Oh, God, this is now reminding me of the Sega CD game, which isn't a good thing.
Where you've got to kick the rats.
Yeah! You just walk...
when do we see Keanu kicking some rats in the film?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Barry Lyndon, actually, but I'm not sure if it was... I'm not sure what you're referring to, Alex. Did Kubrick... the light, you mean? The candle? Or kicking rats?
I don't know what rats. I thought he was going to open the door in a minute and see something he was shocked by and go, whoa.
Immortal Remus, be careful what you wish for. I believe the BBC did a modern interpretation of Dracula. I can't remember if they did or not. But yeah, Dracula in the modern day is difficult to do for a variety of reasons. It's definitely a story of its time. There have been modern day Dracula stories, but like Andrew said, think of The Lost Boys. That's a classic Dracula vampire story set in the modern time. And vampires themselves, the reason why they were so terrifying back in Bram Stoker's day, they were something that people genuinely feared because of grave robbers. You'd see bodies coming out the ground and they'd look relatively fresh, I think, because of embalming.
And also don't forget, even until quite recent times, blood has been a fascination with bloodletting as a cure for a lot of illnesses.
Oh yeah, well, that's one of Bram Stoker was a very sick child, and he got leeched a bunch as a kid. So I'm guessing that stuck with him, literally. And now women are just rising. Oh, Dracula's wives are just rising from The bed.
I mean, let's not forget that. Okay, that when was this written roughly, Dom?
The book,
Yeah,
1800s, late 1800s.
late 1800s. So 1799, George Washington, so less than 100 years before this was written, was killed by doctors practicing bloodletting.
Oh God! Ow!
Oh, ow. You know, so yeah, exactly, Fraglord. Imagine letting blood out of the body as a cure for illnesses. But bearing in mind, that's less than 100 years before this was released. That
Yeah,
doctors believed that you had to balance the body's fluids by doing things like that.
yeah. The humours and such.
Mm. So it would have been the fear of the medical experiments and things. I think that would have played into the vampirism stuff as well.
You know, I just saw a snake on that lady's head. I'm wondering if Quentin Tarantino / Robert Rodriguez was mildly influenced
Maybe.
from Dusk Till Dawn, given
Quite
that
possibly.
Selma has a snake. Did a spurt of blood just erupt from Keanu's nipple?
Or was it being pierced? I wasn't sure. I saw a line coming from his nipple.
Yeah, I looked away briefly.
Yes, Immortal Rumours. This scene makes you wonder what a Paul Verhoeven directed Dracula would have looked like.
I have brought you a baby.
Yeah, does get weird here, Sharon.
Kind of similar to the book. Dracula Showgirls. Oh my god, that would be great.
Yeah. Mr. Furzel says, I'm not ashamed to say I occasionally practice evil cackling and sneering like that, though not as good. Wow, Immortal Rumours, that'd be scary. A David Lynch directed Dracula.
Heart Be Still. I would love that. Yeah, Alex, another great Iris fade. They are Looney Tunes. Oh, that's all, folks.
Yeah, they're doing an extension.
Yeah, they're little cowboys just doing a little bit of bit of work. All right, we're putting your basement in, lads. It'll cost you another few thousand quid.
He's having a basement pool put in.
Yeah. Oh, Lucy.
She's going to be a vampire by the end of the film, isn't she?
You're not very aware of the Dracula story, are you? Like the beats.
No.
Well, I won't say if you're right or wrong. You'll have to wait and see.
It is a fine bloodline. His father lived to be 43.
No, it's practically twice the age of his peers.
Yeah.
Nah, British gentlemen in these days lasted until at least 60, at least, if they didn't go to war.
Yes.
Alfonso Cuarón del Toro production of Dracula would be awesome too. Yeah, I really want. Well, we're getting a Del Toro Frankenstein, so
Mm.
maybe the Universal monsters are going to come back. Ah, the Demeter.
Immortal Rumors is saying that would have been a better plot and protagonist for the Dracula story. Builders working on his castle.
I never saw The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Oh, yeah, Calbot was reading my mind. Has anyone seen The Last Voyage of the Demeter? Is it worthwhile? Maybe. I need to see it. Oh, 100%. We're getting some people saying that.
It's a very... It almost feels like an experimental film for me in a lot
It
of
does.
ways. Which is
It
weird for
does.
Francis Ford Coppola.
My only guess, and I've not researched any of Coppola's like mindset going into making this film, but my guess is
Drugs.
Dracula has been done to death. Let's do some drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dracula has been done many, many times. Let's have fun with it. Let's do something different.
Yeah.
Let's put our stamp on Dracula. Hose them down, lads. I'm amazed that the guards are the ones with the bloody cages on their heads. I suppose it
I,
saves them from damage. It's football helmets
yeah.
of their generation.
It would be helmets of their generation, actually, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, you morphine obsessed, crazy
Ah.
bugger.
Yeah, but morphine was just a thing back then, wasn't it?
It's true.
No harm
I
from
agree with you,
recreational
Lizard Man.
morphine.
The Demeter section is probably the best part of the story because it feels like a short horror story.
Exactly, hell if I know. Morphine was good enough for Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, look. Evil Dead influence.
Exactly, Immortal Rumors, the helmets distinguished them as not being asylum inmates. Oh, yeah, as well. I mean, Mad Matt, the question is, was the Grand Wizard in The Worst Witch a vampire
What?
or not?
Yeah, Wolfen. Yeah, you're right, James. Don't you take random strolls in the windy nights and just cascade your
What,
bed
through the
linen away
maze
with
in my
the...
garden?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
like any normal person.
we've got a nice maze outside. It's about 1,200 feet of maze to the
Yeah,
centre. It was on the list of requirements when we bought the house, having a maze
it has to
outside.
be.
Yeah, dungeon. Couldn't get the dungeon we wanted on this one though.
Gotta get the cowboys in to create one
Yeah,
for you.
that's right. I've got gypsies downstairs digging a dungeon out for me.
The dark deed you requested, master, is completed. Oh, cheers.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And the Gothic sundials on back order to go in the centre of the maze.
Yeah. You wouldn't think this would be the horniest Dracula movie, would you?
No.
I love that effect.
Oh, that's nice. Where the lightning and he kind of showed his face briefly.
Yeah, his real face.
Yeah.
Both, Edward. You're supposed to be scaroused. Drac, put a sock on the hedge, for goodness sake, Mr. Purcell. Everyone knows. Just leave a sock.
My soul seemed to leave my body. I was having intimate relationships with a Wookiee.
Frank Langella's Dracula's hornier? God.
Well, Sharon, exactly. Dracula's just a horny werewolf now, it appears.
Yeah, he transforms into a wolf. That's in the book and almost every adaptation. And Mist. He can take various forms. A giant killer bat.
Cool, blimey, Governor. We're in London.
Course we is, yeah. Carfax Abbey, innit? This is a huge departure from the book.
Yeah.
He cannot walk in the day. This is just so that Gary Oldman can be sexy and walk around.
Yeah. Is this because he's a low-powered vampire or something during the day?
I don't even think that's the case. I think he's just able to... The day doesn't really bother him, which is arguable. That's probably why I didn't like this film as a kid.
I'm going to say this bit is terrible because they could have shot using authentic film of the era.
Instead of digitally trying to
chemically or early digitally reproduce it, it looks terrible because it
looks like a crappy filter's been put on. Yeah. Oh, he can, Calbot. Maybe I must have completely just ignored that part. So okay, Calbot's saying that he can go out in the daylight. He's just very weak, or not able to conduct normal vampiric behavior.
Immortal is saying, ever heard of the film Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter? It had a great concept of a vampirology book. His assistant reads from to identify different types of vampires with various strengths and weaknesses.
I remember enjoying Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter.
But then Interview with the Vampire has a similar thing where different vampires have different gifts and abilities, doesn't it?
I have a very mixed reception to Interview with the Vampire. I really enjoyed
mine's purely
based film.
Mine's purely based on the first film. I've not read the books. I'm not aware of them. I'm not aware of the lore. I'm not aware of any series, sequel films or anything. So the first film, I like.
So you know the baddie in the first film? Tom Cruise? Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
He's the protagonist for the rest of the series. And it's made out that the first book and the first film is kind of a lie. And he's actually just a super cool good guy and a rock star.
Right.
Modern sexy vampires mainly comes from that Vampire Chronicles, I think it's called, and I'm not a fan. Tell him. Did we see how Jonathan escaped Daddy Drac's clutches?
He got in a phone booth with his friend Ted. Bill.
I think that's how it happens in the book as well. Yeah. Ted just turns up and they get out of it. Now, I think he leaps into the river. Young sexy vampires are a blight on this world. My guess, Alex, is that it's an aesthetic choice that he has the blue lenses.
If you look, that man wearing the board was advertising the Lyceum Theatre.
Ah, yes.
Well, it's currently playing The Lion King, where it's been doing for a long time. Its longest performance. So I suspect if you could see the print on that sign, it said it's doing the Lion King in its 10th year.
It's hideous.
That ruff, she reminds me of the fish thrower from Muppets. Halifino says, I'm going to name my daughter Mina. Oh, that's cool.
Beautiful name.
Exactly, my boomerang fish. She could throw a fish right now and it might help. Hello, Ms. Swift, welcome.
This sexy wolf comes out of nowhere and gives me the ride of a lifetime.
Nothing will harm you. I'm just going to give you a little bit of morphine here.
This was practice.
Yeah.
I've been watching Twin Peaks recently. Up until the 90s, doctors were just giving women morphine to calm them down. Bring it back!
Why not?
Do some of that.
Morphine for all.
I'd love a shot of morphine every time I'm feeling a little anxious. That'd be grand. Dark up. Been having some nightmares recently. Can I have some morphine? We peaked in culture in the 90s, clearly. I agree with you, Immortal Rumors. I think Richard Grant would make a great Dracula.
Who's more British, Richard E. Grant or Kerry Hughes here? Are they having a British off?
A Brit off, yes.
A Brit off, yeah.
As you wish. Look at the Texan with his freaking knife. Oh yeah, that's what Lucy was playing with, wasn't it? A what? A metaphysician philosopher? I want that to be my title.
No. When Van Helsing went to announce to his dad he was going to be a metaphysician philosopher, his dad went, yeah, I'll get a McDonald's application form for you.
Dads, I want to be a metaphysical astronomical boy.
Philosopher. Yeah. Just know these words. Would you like fries with that, sir?
Again.
Miss Swift will just be safe, my friend. It's great to see you. Saying you had to rush back from a convention. You won't miss this one. Well, it's great to have you here, but always be safe, my friend. Which convention did you go to?
There are no limits to science.
Science.
I do like the idea that Dracula is obsessed with modern tech. That's something that happens in the Castlevania games and TV show all the time, where Dracula's like a medicine man and desperately trying to find the next best thing.
There's a lot of gliding in this film.
If you could glide, would you not glide?
I would.
Actually, yeah, I don't think this would have been allowed in England.
Oh, it might have been.
I know the French... Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, that line... I kind of love that line. It's corny and cheesy, but... I have crossed oceans of time to find you. It's just beautiful. prosthetic looks painful.
Yeah. The animal handlers have it under complete control while the wolf has escaped.
He looked like such a harmless puppy there until he didn't. Oceans of Time is the line that Oldman said he accepted the role to say. James Hellier coming at you with some trivia. See, Gary Oldman and I are like the same person. We're drawn by cheesy but poetic dialogue. Look at how cute!
He likes you. Exactly, Sharon. Who can resist a man with long hair, sunglasses, and a top hat?
Honestly, men, what's stopping you from dressing like this? He's got mange. Hey up, Gary. He's on Daddy Drac.
Evening, Governor. God, that's a tall top hat.
The taller the top hat.
I'd love it if in every scene.
Gentleman's clothy hair.
No, I'd love it in every scene if his top hat got bigger, just preposterously bigger, taller.
That'd be great.
At every shot, his top hat grows by about 6 inches in height.
Jeez.
It'd be brilliant every time the camera cuts. It's just one that's that much taller.
That's something that belongs in Dead and Loving It. How could they resist that gag, actually?
Oh.
Bats are cute. I like bats.
Do you?
Look at them. Is that true? Because that's an interesting factoid.
What, vampire bats? I don't know. I thought most bats ate insects and
fruit.
Fruit.
Flying foxes. Exactly. Hell if I know.
Flying rats, actually.
Hey, no, that's pigeons. Bats are cute. Actually, they are mammals.
Oh no, vampire bats. No, vampire bats do primarily eat blood.
Oh.
And there's 3 extinct bat species that feed solely on blood.
I probably did say something about dressing like Connery in Highlander, Alex. But I say again, what's stopping men from dressing like this? He hasn't escaped yet. That's
Ms.
probably
Swift
why we haven't seen him
says,
escape.
Vampire bats are one of the exceptions to the fruits and insects rule. Maybe a Nightwing watch party, James. Barely alive, so I cannot escape. They make love to me endlessly, and I just cannot leave.
Oof. They paid my finder's fee.
Is this one of the first big Anthony Hopkins Silence of the Lambs was
No.
before it.
Yeah, I was going to say Silence of the Lambs was before, wasn't it? 1990?
Yeah. 91, so a year before this.
Hmm.
I know Anthony Hopkins has obviously been acting a long time and, in a lot of
Alex,
movies.
I'm already dressed in my finest Victorian slutty garb. What more do you want from me? To pop a button like Richard Grant? Is that Dracula? It looked more like Anthony Hopkins. Oh, I love that. I love the plants dying at his shadow's touch. And have $15,000 to give me.
Yeah, Miss Swift, it was just after he sort of broke out into the A-listers with Howard's End and Silence of the Lambs. He was a lot of British TV and British movies. Calbot, that's the Van Helsing film that I went to see with another ex of mine. That I've only ever seen once because she wanted to go and see it at the cinema. Made a point that we had to go and see it, and it was terrible.
Guilty pleasure.
As was my relationship with her. So that chapter of my life is sealed away.
Oof.
Ooh. Have you got any Germaline? Sorry. Have you got any Neosporin?
You got any Neosporin? That's what you love to hear. Have you perfected this? Nah, barely tried it. Why did we have to make Van Helsing a sexy young Hugh Jackman werewolf boy?
I prefer the man.
Why couldn't you? Yeah.
Oh, that's a British delivery there. What the hell?
God.
Good God. Good God, Lord. Good God. Ugh.
You've been volunteered.
Just as well blood groups don't exist.
Sharon, Hugh Jackman sets unrealistic expectations for mankind everywhere.
If he's not a compatible blood group, his blood would be absolutely fatal to her within minutes, wouldn't it? Yeah. If you give someone the wrong blood, they will die from it because it's not compatible with their body.
Which is why my blood type sucks. I'm O negative, meaning unless he's O negative, the universal donor. The problem with being O negative is you can only have O negative blood.
Yeah. I've got happy blood that they used to save babies, apparently.
What blood type are you?
I'm B positive.
Blood.
I have B positive blood.
I thought that's how you defined it.
Yeah. I'm B positive. Apparently, they use it to save babies quite often.
I think it's AB. There is a universal.
No, I'm not universal,
taker.
Alex.
This scene is great. Where Van Helsing just disappears to prove a point and be a dick. I love it.
No, AB isn't a universal receiver, Calbot. I've got a chart of blood compatibility up here. I'll paste it in the chat now, actually. It's quite interesting.
I would be a universal donor, Alex, if I didn't have diabetes. My blood is poison to everyone. Which is why I'm safe when vampires try and take over the world. There it is. AB positive.
Oh, yeah,
is
AB positive is universal recipient.
universal
sorry.
donor.
Yeah.
Universal taker.
Yeah.
Lucky bastards. And there's little old me with O negative. I can take my blood. That's it. Lucy, darling, you're sleeping in dramatic light again. Would you like me to turn the overhead lamp off?
Well, it's the fact as well, they've put her in like a blood red outfit. I'm sure that won't play into anything later.
Oh, good old absinthe.
Oh, God, no. No, never again. Never again.
Do you drink the green fairy over a cube of sugar?
No, I haven't drank absinthe since I was in my 20s, early 20s. I don't know if I've relayed my absinthe story to you, have I?
I don't think so.
Oh, let's have
God,
my
it looks
absinthe
like
story.
shitty limoncello.
No, it goes that colour when if you make it properly and you drip the water through the sugar and everything, it does go cloudy. So when I was living on my own and a lot younger, I bought absinthe from a local off-license or liquor store in the UK.
Oh, okay.
However, he sells or used to sell a lot of alcohol that was not EU customs approved, which means it hadn't passed the authorities' permission to come into the country.
Oh, good.
And I bought Hungarian absinthe from him that had an illegally high content of wormwood in it.
That sounds consumable. Wormwood?
Well, wormwood is what they put in it.
Yeah.
But it contains the active ingredient in LSD.
Oh, cool.
That's why too much of it, and it becomes illegal. I drank it neat, and I drank a litre of it.
A litre? You madman!
Yeah, I've never been so ill in my life. I've never been so ill in my life. I was ill in bed for about 4 days afterwards. But the night I drank it was one of the worst nights of my life. I started hallucinating. I was laying in my bedroom on my bed. I used to do a lot of very silly things when I was young, don't worry. I've lived my life when I was young. So I drank the bottle, and when I went to bed, I looked down over the bed, I started hallucinating, and the floor was covered in mist.
Oh, fun.
My bed was flying.
Oh, isn't that fun? Bed knobs and broomstick style.
It was, until the bed started falling for what felt like hours.
That seems like a nightmare.
And I was laying on the bed, gripping it, screaming, feeling like I'm falling for hours. Awful. Awful. Never again. That's the last time I touched it.
I wonder if Gary here is crying over Winona's acting, or...
I think probably a bit of both.
But yeah, I've always liked Dracula as a tragic villain. I like motivation that I can understand. I mean, yeah, he married 3 other women, but he only got one love. His heart belongs to one. Edward, I think...
Yeah, I would imagine...
version...
Yeah.
James said it earlier. The Dracula from like the 30s, was it the 20s? 30s. Yeah, like 32. The Universal Dracula movie, that was based on a play because, well, Dracula became a play pretty quickly after the novel came out because a lot of people like to see things in action, and movie adaptations couldn't happen back then. So most adaptations of Dracula do take inspiration from the stage play versions. Because I'm sure that the line, the creatures of the night, what music they make. I'm sure that's probably from a play rather than the book. It might be from the book, though. My memory of the book is hazy at best. There he goes.
I'm just trying to see. I can't see if anyone has done
I
a
know there's
stage
a
play
musical.
version of this. Yeah, there is, I believe.
I'm genuinely surprised there isn't more musical versions of Dracula.
Right. Immortal Rimus, my friend, I don't recommend that absinthe. I tried once, but it was Hungarian in origin, if you wish to seek it out. Came in a cloudy bottle, and it tasted like death. I was so ill. So ill. I basically had alcohol poisoning.
The interesting thing about Lugosi's Dracula movie, if you aren't aware, there was a movie done at the same time using the same sets with different actors, and I believe it was a Spanish or Italian version. I don't know why, but both films are great in their own. They have like subtle differences. It's peculiar. So yeah, Spanish Dracula, says Ms. Swift.
It really feels like so much of the film was shot with a Steadicam.
Yeah, it does.
Like, they just got a Steadicam. I know that you hadn't, but literally they just got it and it was like, we're using every shot.
This was a symptom of mid 1800s, like the Romantic period of literature, where female characters were essentially boiled down to princesses and sluts. And when I say sluts, because of the time, it was
Yeah.
more like that they were promiscuous. They had kissed a man. Oh my!
Showing their ankles to him.
Exactly, like total whores. How could they? How could they do such a horrible thing like show an ankle? But then there was the polar opposite, like Mina here. She
Goddess of virtue.
exactly looking at an Arabian Nights book at the
Yeah.
filthiness in there. It's grotesque. The irony in this is that at the time, romantic friendships were a huge deal, especially for women. And by romantic friendship, I mean they literally practiced relationships with their friends.
Well,
And the
James
idea
is asking, when are we doing In Search of Darkness 1930s? We're struggling to get the actors on that project.
But yeah, romantic friendships is such an odd concept to me because homosexuality was illegal, but you could hang out with your mates and kiss them all day long. It was kind of like Friends with Benefits, Sharon. Everything apart from sex. So you could, the women were encouraged to find a female friend and practice for their husband. It was nuts. I could be a talking head about Bela
Hell if I
Lugosi.
know. When are we going to do Memoirs of an Invisible Man? Ooh, good question. It can go on the watch party
Wolfsbane?
list. Lucy medicinal.
Oh yeah, garlic and wolfsbane.
Mm. But I think, again, the whole reason that vampires don't like garlic, I think that will come from the fact that garlic is a naturally antiseptic foodstuff.
Potentially, I believe they put garlic on corpses to shield them from evil, and I can't really remember. Probably because, yeah, things that had garlic near them didn't get as rotted quickly. So, the evil forces weren't going
Yeah.
near it.
But silver is also naturally antiseptic.
Mhm.
Sorry, silver is. Let's have a look.
Oh, that looks painful.
Ow.
British teeth, am I right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. James is saying Day of the Dolphin. One day, James. One day. Vampire. I don't know if I want a book written like that on parchment with.
Oh, there's old Vlad.
Yeah.
Vlad Tepish.
Yeah, Immortalness. The reason silver is naturally antiseptic is because under a microscope, if you look at it, the silver is jagged and it actually stabs the germs. Genuinely.
James Hellier keeps giving us shit for liking Extro and Mac and me, but he's obsessed with Day of the Dolphin.
Look, the dolphin was accidentally trained to kill the president.
As you do. Oh.
Yeah. The only problem, James, I'm doing a very quick check for Day of the Dolphin.
Borderline impossible to view anywhere.
In America, it's available to stream in very few places, and you can stream it for free on a service called Canopy, which requires an American basically public library card to watch.
I can get that. I've got a library down the road.
It might be out. It is out on Blu-ray, James. I've seen that, but the problem is streaming around the world is. Oh my god.
Oh, Gary. Oh, Gary.
He borrowed that from a 90s music video, didn't he?
Oh, for sure.
Alex Peacock says. Canopy is the library system in America and Canada. James, I will look at it, and I need to check on availability in a few places, my friend.
Whore of Darkness was my nickname in high school.
Wow.
I love how the American just has a gun.
Well, he would, wouldn't he? He's got his dueling rifle.
I'm upset. I got my green card. I wasn't given a gun immediately. What the hell? Well, where's my...
Yeah, Dom, you're probably like me in that even if we have the opportunity to own a gun, neither of us should because we're both idiots.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also left-handed, so...
Yeah.
Oh, they look like great pistols, though. Look at them.
Dueling pistols.
Look at those revolvers.
That's right.
Horror of Darkness should be Dom's VC credit. It already is. Just keep an eye out. Oh, that was a good shot.
Oh. Well, strange enough, Mr. Furzel, you can confirm that.
Miss Swift saying Anthony Hopkins' insanity here is in that scene is what makes them love the movie so much. I agree. Anthony Hopkins and Gary Oldman, they both eat so much scenery, but it's just like someone mentioned. I think it was Sharon mentioned it earlier. It's like a stage production. It feels like a stage production in the best ways.
Yeah.
No scenery left unchewed, as it should be. Look at how beautiful the scenery is. You got to chew it.
Well, Calbot says, whiskey and firearms. What could possibly go wrong?
Nah, match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Ah, Quincy.
Good God.
You've exposed your breasticles.
Yeah, I heard that as well, James, that Keanu Reeves and Winona might actually, because it was a real priest in a real church, they might accidentally be married.
Yeah. Marriage makes your hair grey.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't being feasted upon by 3 hooches of darkness for about a month.
Blood. Who says blood like blood?
Bloods. Oh, Lucy. Ah.
Yeah.
Now, Dog Soldiers is a great movie as well.
That is a great film.
This is why you never show your ankles in public.
James, if we can't do a Day of the Dolphin watch party because I can't get people to stream it, would you accept a Dog Soldiers watch party later this year? How about that? No, James, they don't assassinate the president, I'm afraid.
They try. Well, not really the president.
They try to assassinate everybody.
Exactly right, Edward. The real moral of this is that you need to keep your ankles covered. Why?
Hang on, I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that Keanu has the familiar streets of London.
His accent's flawless. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what. Oh God.
He's grown young,
He's grown young, dude.
dude.
I can't believe it. Yeah, Mr. Fuzzle, exactly right.
Exactly. He went to the Dick Van Dyke
School of
School of-
Linguistics.
Yeah.
Poor Dick Van Dyke.
Whoa.
He's still getting shit for that, isn't he?
Yeah.
The man, dude. You know, the man. The bro. The dude.
Whoa. Dude.
Something truly nefarious is going down at the Circle K.
Yeah.
Giga Chad Van Helsing here, just casually pointing out the facts.
Yeah.
Yes, hell if I know. I didn't get. I didn't go to the school of Dick Van Dyke's accents. What are you making the old man lift? His back must be killing him. I have surround sound going and it's messing with my head because I heard the noise go all around me. What?
Oh.
Take your silly gun out of my face.
Well, she might notice someone's opened the lid to her tomb. Is that Billy Campbell in this movie? People are saying.
I believe it is, yeah.
The Texan. So
as,
it's the
Quincy.
Rocketeer in it as well.
Yeah.
Wow, that was brutal, dropping that child.
It was going to get eaten anyway.
Yeah, but still.
Can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
Yeah. He's the Rocketeer. Now, that's what I want. I want to see...
The Rocketeer
Wesley
versus Dracula.
Yeah, I want to see the Rocketeer versus Dracula.
Wesley the Rocketeer.
And Zorro.
And Zorro, yeah! And Ted.
And technically Doctor Who as well.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Richard E. Grant played the Doctor in a sketch, and he also played him in a few productions. I'll look at the Night Stalker, James, and get back to you on that.
Night Stalker.
I think he's also done a couple of Big Finish as well, James.
Oh, come on. Why'd you have to serve the...
Very rare beef. But I will say, at least it's cooked properly.
Yeah.
because this is a strange thing. I'm going to post in the Discord now. There's a place near me that at Christmas sells roast meats that you can buy to reheat at home, and I've got one of their pictures here, such to hand, and my God, the beef.
What?
That's their advert for their roast meats to take home to reheat.
That's horrible.
No, dude.
No, bro.
It's a turkey breast, Sharon, on one side, and the other thing is a lump of roast beef.
The abomination next to
Yes.
potatoes.
Do you know where I've seen that before? Has anyone seen in the film Time Bandits?
Yeah.
The roast beef that destroys the universe at the end.
Yeah.
The lump of pure
in
evil.
the microwave.
Yeah.
I know where the bastard sleeps. Abbott. I'm always confused why...
He was Chaos Fear even. Billy Campbell was almost Riker in TNG, and he plays the outrageous Oconda. Oconda.
Yeah, most adaptations of Dracula have Jonathan Harker as the protagonist, more or less. I don't get why. Like, I understand the book had him pretty much front and center, but as a detective. Because Dracula was more of a detective story, in my opinion. But Van Helsing is so much more cognizant of the goings on, and he's more of a driving force in the story than Jonathan is. God, even like Quincy and what's his name? The Doc. Dr. Jack.
The problem is every time I see Billy Campbell of this era, it makes me wish that we got one of the things
Rocketeer stuff.
Well, the one thing that they that had been bandied around at the time and since was doing a 1940s Avengers movie with the Rocketeer and Captain America in it.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
And a few of the other heroes of that era, like a 1940s type Avengers.
Like the Shadow and
that kind of
the
thing.
Phantom.
Well, not quite the Phantom, but but heroes of that era. And I'd be like, yep, I'd be up for that. Yeah, they almost did that in a What If episode. Yeah, I know. They need to
James,
Rocketeer, bring him back.
My favorite Van Helsing is probably Anthony Hopkins, just because I love him so much. He's just grand.
Feed me wood lice.
Billy Zane Phantom Watch Party. James is demanding
maybe
so much stuff.
Maybe one time, James. Maybe one time. I've been toying with the Shadow at some point.
I don't know if I've seen the Shadow.
Shadow's a lot of fun. No, we've never done the Shadow, Alex.
You're not fighting very hard though, Renfield. You are
No, not really.
Eager to have Daddy Drac come and give you a mild schlorp. You'll be completely safe there.
What in the
asylum?
shop? I don't know. It's a tea shop with a nice plate
I
rack.
think it's the office above the asylum.
It's got a very nice plate rack.
Yeah.
And a big open window. Opposite the abbey where the Count lives. You'll be safe here next to the home turf of the Count.
Dracula.
Edward says Renfield, a whore, to Dom, a whore punishment.
For sure. Fraglord, the Renfield movie, is enjoyable for what it is. I enjoyed it. I think it was a cute, entertaining flick. Mainly for Nick Cage as Dracula.
Do you know one of the things I think is irritating me about Dracula in this film?
Go on.
He's got
not
too
consistent.
many forms.
That's, again, more kind of book loyal. He's a creature of many forms. He can become mist. He can become a bat. Oh, here's the mist. There you go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like what's going on, Scoob.
No, master.
Oh. This never happened with Bela Lugosi.
No.
Did you miss me? Oh, I've missed the puns. Yeah, Nick Cage himself is a genre. Yeah, it's true.
So she decided to
Bang the mist, yeah.
strip off and go to bed
Yeah.
in the office.
Isn't that what you do when people invite you to offices? That's what I do all the
Yes.
time.
Yes. Hence why you're banned from from every WeWork location in America.
Oddly enough, I got invited back to several Hollywood casting calls.
Yeah.
I thought it was common etiquette. I wear my wedding ring to bed.
I haven't worn my wedding ring since the day after I got married.
Oh.
See, no wedding ring on. No reason at all, apart from my wife understands I suffer from eczema.
Oh, yeah.
So if I don't wear a watch, I don't wear any jewelry or anything like that. If it's next to my skin, I will start to develop eczema under it. So.
This movie is legit horror erotica. You're right, Ed, with the Black Prince.
No, James, my wedding ring's not silver. It's black titanium, actually.
I wear silver with no problems at all, so I'm clearly a pure innocent cherub. My ankles are covered, is what I'm saying. Are you saying, Alex, that horror erotica is rarely classy and not well done? I'm trying to think of another erotic thriller that's...
Yeah. Immortal Remiss, I feel for you, my friend. Skin conditions are no fun.
No.
You murdered Lucy.
But I gave her one hell of a night before she died. I reinvented what it means to say we did it doggy style. How has no one said that yet? I'm disappointed in every one of you. How could you not go there? My friends are burning your home while... True, Alex. The direct-to-video Class C movies. Yeah, The Hunger, yeah. I mean, anything with Daddy Bowie in is erotic by nature. There we go. Yes, I refer to David as Daddy Bowie. No. I said Daddy Bowie.
He did say daddy.
This is one of the things that I like about this film. Dracula isn't wholly evil. Exactly, Mr. Fursel.
No, he's
he
not.
wants something.
Because he loves her and doesn't want to subject her to the hell he's in.
Exactly. It's
It would be selfish for... The selfish thing is for him to have... The selfish thing is for him to have her join him in his curse, but he doesn't want to curse her with his curse. Because he cares too much.
Dracula in the modern day could have them done for criminal damages.
Yeah.
I'm taking you to a court of law to get prosecuted for damaging my property.
Strangely enough, James, I believe The Hunger actually had a watch party a long time ago. No, James, no.
I love his thunderous hoof footsteps. Ugh.
So he can
Ugh.
dissolve into rats.
He can.
But if like they were to capture one of the rats, would he like be missing a finger or something?
Yeah. Sharon, if I found my wife in bed with Dracula and she was protecting him, depends on the Dracula. Gary Oldman? Who could forget? Dear Rat Boy.
Rat boy. Stop gnawing on the drywall.
You did suck his blood out of his chest. But Mina's relationship with Dracula in this film is also complicated. She has this desire for him, but how much of it is from her and how much is it from her spiritual ancestor?
So who can tell me what this device is in Discord?
Oh, what? I'm guessing some kind of rat trap. The BFG. His beloved home.
In stormy seas to France.
Ugh.
It's a gas-powered rat killer.
Jeez. It's a bolt gun for rats.
Yeah, basically. You attach it to your house, the side of that. It's got a gas cylinder on it. You put bait in it, and as soon as they go in, they break the laser beam, and a gas-powered bolt goes.
That's horrifying. Just get a cat.
That's what they need for the Dracula problem.
Can you imagine? They just set up hundreds of them in the house. Dracula's like, what the hell are these? And then he turns into a pile of rats, and all of a sudden he's super interested in them.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Hell if I know your cat keeps the house mouse free.
Yeah.
My former cat, hell if I know though, Merlin, he never killed an actual real mouse because we never had any in the house. His thing was killing spiders, and he was cruel. He was truly cruel. In the hallway, we had a lot of spiders coming in the house at one point, and the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life, because what he'd do is he would gently place his paw on the body of the spider to hold it down without killing it. No, and then he would use his mouth and pluck their legs off one at a time.
Oh, his mouth. Oh, God.
And once I saw what looked like a raisin pulling itself down the hallway with one leg. It was the saddest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. No, he was a house cat, Alex, so he didn't ever like that.
I actually don't mind rats and mice either. I think they can be cute. Not really a decoy. She's the bait, isn't she? Luring Daddy Drac in? Zaddy Dracky?
She actually looks properly like Lydia now from Beetlejuice, doesn't she?
Yeah. Of course, the Texan.
Oh.
Poor dogs
exactly.
have to run after them.
James, exactly. You would have thought in post-production they could have had another character do the narration and not... Yeah, exactly, Sharon. Realistically, how long would it take to get from London to Transylvania before cars, weeks, etc.? Well, don't forget as well, Sharon, they had to cross the English Channel, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, at the shortest point...
Like, on boat, that's not long. Men can swim it.
Dom, this would have been before proper ocean liners. This would have been on sailing, maybe steamships. Apparently, it took about 5 days on a ship back then.
Interesting. Men can swim the bloody thing now. Could Dom swim? No, I'm not that good of a swimmer. Not bad, but... I barely met the girl.
Yeah, but Sharon, that would be literally getting from England to France. But then getting the rest of the way to... Okay, let's have a look on this. Let's try and work this out for you.
Have a wafer thin mint. Have a Ritz cracker. Good for any occasion. Oof, that's one hell of a Ritz cracker. She got a reaction. Those poor horsies. Another great transition.
No, Alex, not 5 days London to Dover. Dover to France. Was apparently 5 days on a ship in a steamship of this era.
See, man, look at this Van Helsing. He's got his machete and everything.
Yeah.
Alright, I've had enough of you bloody trollops. I'm gonna come take your heads and chuck them down a ravine. Oh, he's great. You're getting warmer, Mina. Cold, cold. Don't look directly in the sun, especially not with binoculars.
The problem is, the shots of the sky, because of how it's been shot, look so stock footage.
Yeah.
They don't match.
Probably is stock footage.
Yeah, well, it will be.
It is pretty, though.
Oh, Alex, the ship would be leaving somewhere very near from Dover. Dover to Calais in France, and apparently it would usually steamships, according to what I just found, would take about 5 days historically.
Oof. Oh, that looked like a very dangerous stunt for the stuntman. The horse kind of tipped hoof first towards the actor.
Yeah, it's very uneven, Sharon.
God, everyone needs to stop looking at the sun.
But is it she'll become a vampire when the sun goes down?
No, they're just they're racing against the sun so that,
What, Dracula
Daddy Drac
can't
has,
slightly less power?
Yeah, exactly.
But they established he was perfectly fine. Well, James,
We didn't do any cool Dracula stuff.
Yeah.
The boss phase goes into its second phase. Fast and the Furious Transylvanian Drift. You can fit through that. Come off it, Winona. You can fit through that easy. He gets his 5% boost and a +1 short sword.
Oh, maybe I am wrong. Apparently about 5 hours to cross the thing, not 5 days. Sorry. About 5 hours. Oh, maybe 6 hours.
Okay, cool. I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah. Not the Rocketeer. This is where I want to see Van Helsing put the rocket pack on.
Yeah. Let me go bang this monster. Quetzal. Yeah, Jonathan really does come across as a bit of a bonehead. Dahmer did. You only got slightly cut.
Yeah. I like a burn on a head, though, from the holy water. It's actually a proper burn.
The wafer, yeah.
Mm.
You can almost see the Ritz logo just
Yeah,
imprinted
right.
on her forehead.
That's right.
Man, poor Jonathan getting cucked by a very, very dead person.
Yeah. Give me peas.
Yep. He wants mushy peas with fish and chips because he's
Yes. British.
peculiar. Yeah. Yeah, but who doesn't have curry sauce, man? Come on.
No.
It's a crime this man didn't get an Oscar until very recently. It's a crime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, Edward. The god of this film appears to be quite forgiving. Redemption is arguably not possible for someone who just acts selfishly the entire film. But he didn't. He had a moment of clarity.
Edward's right. No, all his murder and rape is forgiven. Now go to heaven, Vlad. Off you go. Yeah, it is immortal illness. It's a metaphor for someone getting released from a painful, lifelong condition.
Yeah. Mina is one of the strongest characters in the film, for sure. She has a lot of agency.
Okay.
Like, she makes so many decisions on her own. It's... Oh, we don't even see the baby get born.
Nope. There we go.
Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know, in the book, Mina and Jonathan have a baby, and they name it after every person who helped them in the films, like Quincy and
Do they call him Drac
Van
Jr.?
Helsing. No, they don't call him Drac Jr., unfortunately. That would have been great.
Does Keanu not have questions where the baby comes out with a little moustache,
With teeth, yeah.
hair and fangs and a little cape?
And speaks with an accent.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go, everybody. That was Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Let's see what everyone thought of it.
Bram Stoker's
I'm going to share my thoughts, as it's one I've never seen before.
Yes.
It was all right. I'm sorry, I wasn't blown away by that. It was all right. I didn't love it myself. I'm sorry to say, everyone. But I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I watched it with you guys for the first time, watched it in the right audience. I think it's just a thing. It's just a film I've never found myself drawn to watch on my own.
Very fair. As you've said, you have a negative experience with vampires anyway.
Yeah, with this film in particular. But it was it's all right. But no, nothing I'm desperate to rewatch. But anyway, let's take your comments. Here we go. So, Ms. Swift says the whole movie is so quirky and uneven. That's part of its charm. It also feels like parts of it sat on a cutting room floor somewhere. I love it, warts and all. James Harley, my clapted, producing credit because this started life as a TV movie under him. Immortal Remus, with all its faults, I still enjoy, and I did love the practical effects. James Elliott, it's no Bela Lugosi movie. Hell if I know, it's so romantic. Let's have a look at what's said on Discord at the moment. Alex Peacock. Okay, let's start again. Sorry. Mr. Furzel, love this flick. Sharon, love it. Mad Matt, meh. I think I'm probably with you, my friend. Alex Peacock, excellent, worth a watch again to get some more out of it. Lizard Man, this movie is beautifully shot and a great adaptation, but I can't believe the love story element. It's the one thing that holds it back for me. Phonic, it's a mixed bag, visually stunning. but lags in the last act, and Keanu Reeves was not a good choice for the part. Cal bought the best adaptations of the book, but not without its share of problems. Edward Black Prince, theatrical and artistic to the max. It's decent and unique in style. Frag Lord is a bit different. Some parts are very good, but the overall pacing is even, and it's got style. I'll give it that. Sharon says it is one I watch often. Eric, a fantastic movie. Really like Gary Oldman's Dracula and a great soundtrack. Chaosphere. I'm going to have to watch it again on my own to get a better feel for it. I did enjoy it, though. And Frag Lord says Gary Oldman and Hopkins own this movie. Ms. Swift says this movie illustrates how a mismatch between actors and director produces odd performances. Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder did decent period dramas on either side of Dracula, where they were way better.
Mm-hmm.
And James Haley says apparently half an hour was cut out after test screens. Dom, I'll let you have the final word on the film.
I really enjoy this movie. Oddly enough, I really enjoy it because of the changes it makes to the book. I like Dracula in this. I like that he's a lovesick puppy for the whole thing. I love that he's kind of redeemed. I like it. I dig the movie. It's also very beautiful to watch, to look at even.
I think the thing you've got to remember is everyone connects with certain films. Some people don't connect with others. And it's just, for me, it's maybe one I don't. But maybe next week we'll connect with another film. What are we watching next week? We will be back in 7 days, as always. And we are going to be watching something a little bit different. We're going to be watching Cape Fear, the Robert De Niro version. Bit of psychological kind of thriller / horror, which I'm really looking forward to. Some great strong performances in that. Solid film, and we'll have a lot of fun with that. So, like I say, the Robert De Niro version of Cape Fear.
And that's one I've never watched.
Well, there we go then.
There we go.
So for the next, be careful, Don. Sunlight's shining on you. You don't want it.
Yeah. It'll burn me, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone, for the next 7 days, please be kind to each other. Stay safe. Look after each other. Don't indulge in too much vampirism. If you're watching the big game in America today, please enjoy yourselves. Have a great time. It's not something I'm into, but enjoy yourselves. Have a lot of fun. I'm sure there'll be controversy from the commercials, as always. But everyone, for the next 7 days, please stay safe, look after each other, and we will see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.